Hi there. My name is Jared Fuller. Most people call me Jer Bear. You can call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner. How you guys doing? Today's date is Sunday, July 6th, 2025, the first Sunday video update of the new month. And we are here to talk about the week in review. And boy, what a week it's been. Joining me off camera is my dad. Amy is out in the kitchen. So where do I begin? There is a lot to talk about, guys. So I am once again a single man. And I'm going to try to explain subtly without coming off as arrogant or like putting anyone on the spot. I'm going to say it like this. I was with this girl for a total of 24 days. It's probably the longest relationship I've ever had to date, is 24 days. So it started out great. Took her out on dates. We hung out a lot. We watched the fireworks on Friday. But last night was the final straw. It had taken me time to catch on to this. But the woman I was seeing has an alcohol problem. And so she was fine when she first got here. And then the minute she opened that bottle of whiskey, the rage started to come out. And this is not the first time. I've dealt with this issue for about the past week and a half. It was only until the past week and a half it really started to show. And so I dated a single mom, and her kids had taken to me. I guaranteed their safety when I was with their mom, and I feel a sneeze coming. And they were safe with me. I never let anything happen to them. I guaranteed the safety or their safety with me. It was an absolute guarantee. The kids loved me. They were always excited to see me whenever I come over to see them. And I thought things were working out great. I had a beautiful woman. I had 2 kids who loved and adored me. And a side of her come out that I never thought I'd see, but it started to show more and more and more as time progressed. And last night was the final straw. I had a beer, which, by the way, 1 beer is not going to make me drunk. She drank whiskey, and then she started to snarl. She started to get offensive about the most mundane things you could imagine. Just little things. She says, well, you don't listen to me and you treat me like shit and blah, 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 blah. I never treated her like shit. In fact, I put her in her place a few times verbally. I never put my hands on her violently. I was never abusive to her children. Oh, I'm still on Facebook. I do apologize for that interruption, guys. So let me sign out of Facebook here. I totally forgot I was on Facebook. I am so sorry. I was never violent with her, not physically violent. I may have spoken out and raised my voice at her, but that's usually what I do when someone's calling me an asshole and saying all kinds of stupid shit to me, which is incoherent and doesn't make sense. And she thinks I'm, going to just sit there and take it. And she found out last night. I told her, I'm done. This is it. This is the end of the road. And what? What do you mean, done? Well, no, she didn't even say that. She just walked out of because I was sitting at the kitchen table, and she's like, well, why do you treat me like shit? Are you done? I said, you know what? I've been done for a long time now. It's over. Then she turned around, walked away, and says, I fucking hate you, Jared. And I said, well, sorry, but you don't win a prize for that. Maybe it wasn't the right choice of words, but that was what came to mind, and those were the words that came out of my mouth. She stormed out of here. She slammed the door. She sped off into the night. She had the open bottle of whiskey in her purse. And right then I knew it was done. She was sending me message after message after message, calling me names and saying I'm this, saying I'm that. And she even threatened, well, I should have went with this other guy today. Well, you should have. But thanks for pointing out that you are willing to cheat on me and you weren't really faithful. It don't matter who, Dad, but it's thanks for showing me, thanks for demonstrating to me that you weren't faithful. I was faithful to her since day one. The relationship lasted for 24 days, and enough was enough. I had enough. We went to the fireworks on Friday night in Corona. She wasn't feeling well. She was in the sun for 2.5 hours at a park, at a beach up by St. John's. By the way, she was with her baby daddy. Yeah. Which I was okay with, considering that he's there to help with her daughter, with their daughter. Okay, cool. But then I found out he filled up her gas tank. He bought life jackets for the kids. And I'm thinking to myself, and mind you, she claimed that he was abusive to her. But yet she's accepting gifts from the person who allegedly abused her physically. Yeah, I was upset about it. It's like, well, first off, why are you accepting gifts from baby daddy when he was, I guess, abusive to you, according to you? And secondly, aren't I supposed to be the one to do that? But then I got thinking, I'm not her dad. So let dad do what dad wants. I'm cool with that. So that's when I decided, you know what? It doesn't even matter. When we were together, like I said, I took her out on dates. We went to the fireworks, and even then she was really just moody and bitchy towards me most of the night. We got into an argument before we left, actually, because I jumped her ass about drinking and driving and going into McCurdy Park with an open container of liquor, which you're not supposed to do. The signs are posted. And I jumped her ass about it. And I said, if you go to jail, you're going to fucking sit there. And that's the end of it. And we had a big old fuss about that. And she says, I don't care. And who gives a fuck? And I said, well, I give a fuck because I'm your boyfriend. And then last night she tried telling me that if she went to jail, then I would have had to bail her out. No, I don't. No, I don't. It's not my fault because you decided to get behind the wheel of a vehicle while drinking. Mind you, she's got a 5-year-old and an 11-year-old, and this is not the first time she's done it. I didn't sleep all that well last night. I was lucky to get maybe 2-hour increments of sleep throughout the night because I was thinking more about her kids. I guaranteed their safety with my life. And now they don't have that shield. They don't have that protector anymore because mom decided that she would rather be a drunken, condescending loudmouth and ruin a perfectly good relationship with a good person than to think about her kids, to think about other people who may be affected by her lack of empathy for other people. Now, when I say I jumped her ass, it doesn't mean I physically put my hands on her. I never did that. I stuck her with the truth. She didn't like it. And not to mention, throughout the duration of that relationship, she was very controlling, very manipulative, very condescending when she didn't get her way. I found out that, you know, she's got misdemeanor charges, which so do I. There's a misdemeanor on my record. But she told me some things, and I don't know if it's really relevant to the relationship. So I don't know if I want to say what she got in trouble for, but pretty serious stuff. And she's lucky she only got away with a misdemeanor. Did I love her? Yes. I loved her with all my heart. I thought I had a good person finally after all this time of searching and giving up hope and thinking to myself, there is no one out there for me. But I finally found someone, and this is what I get. I get someone who is controlling, manipulative, condescending, and whines like a fucking petulant child when she doesn't get her own way, especially when she's been drinking. She mixes her alcohol with prescription medication. And I gave her a bunch of grief about that. She didn't like it. And this is the part where I say, I don't care. Because I don't care if she liked it or not. Her children, like I said, 5 and 11 years old. They loved me the first day they met me, and I'm not exaggerating. They are wonderful kids. And the little girl always clung to me. She felt safe with me. I held her all the time. She would play on her, she kicked back. She used me as a pillow. She kicked back on me. She'd play on her tablet. Cool. She's kicking back on me because she feels safe with me and she knows I would never hurt her. She felt safe with me. Her son felt safe with me. Matter of fact, when we were at the 4th of July fireworks in Corona, they've got this building. It's just meant for bathrooms. It's a brick building towards the front of McCurdy Park. And he said he had to go to the bathroom. So, okay, let's go into the bathroom. I said, you go into the stall. I'm going to go into the stall next to you. And he got done before I did. And I said, hey, and I called for his name. And he says, yeah. I said, don't you walk out of here until I'm done. You wait until I come out. He says, okay. So he did. And I told him, I said, you never know, there's a lot of people and I don't want you wandering off because I'll never hear the end of it from your mom. And the main reason is because I don't want anything to happen to you. It's because I love you and I don't want to see anything happen to you. The little girl, she goes to like therapy, counseling appointments. I took her to one of those on a Monday night. Usually I go out to Pine Run Inn on Mondays, which I still plan on going tomorrow night. But I knew that the little girl had an appointment.